Today's lesson is how you find an angle using cos. So if you've done the exercises on tan and sine, this is very similar, so I would hope that you'd be able to do this quite successfully. I'll start by reminding you of the formula, the ratio for cos. Cos x is adjacent over hypotenuse. We'll come down to the example and we'll start this question the same as we start all trigonometry questions, by labelling the sides. So I'm standing at x, so there's my opposite, there's my hypotenuse, and there's my adjacent. I'll then write down the rule. Cos x is a over h. I'll fill in the two numbers, the 15 and the 19, into these positions over here. So cos x will equal 15 over 19. And then I'm going to calculate the size of angle x. I need to do the opposite of cos, which is inverse cos, or cos minus 1 as some people like to call it. 15 over 19. And then I go and use my calculator to get the answer. If you have an actual scientific calculator, you can type this in as it stands, but those of you who are using a phone as a calculator have to follow the same steps that we used for the other sine and tans. So it is 15 divided by 19, and I get that answer there. Now currently sine, cos and tan are here, and they just say sine, cos and tan, they don't say inverse. So I need to go to the second function button, this one here, and tap it, and you will notice that these have changed to inverse sine, cos and tan. So today it's inverse cos, so it's this button here that I'm going to use, and I get 37.9 if I round it correctly degrees, because we're finding the size of an angle. Second one, same again. I start by doing opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent, and then write down my rule. Cos x is a over h. I then fill in the numbers. Cos x equals 3 over 7, and then I'm going to work out what x equals. So I'm going to do inverse cos 3 over 7, go to my calculator. So this time it's going to be 3 divided by 7 equals. You can see that the second function button is still highlighted, so I can just come straight down and hit cos minus 1, and I get the answer of 64.6 degrees. Always important to get your units in. And then the last one, so I'm standing here, so there's my opposite, there's my hypotenuse, there's my adjacent. Write down the rule. Cos x is a over h. Fill in the numbers. Cos x is the adjacent is 10, the hypotenuse is 23, and then I'm going to go x equals, I need to find the size of the angle, so I'm going to go inverse cos 10 over 23, go to my calculator, 10 divided by 23 equals, hit my inverse cos button. Sorry, I'll just let you see that again. So I did 10 divided by 23 equals, and then inverse cos 64.2 if I'm going to one decimal place, degrees. Okay, your turn to try a few questions. So there's question 1. If you pause the video and give it a try just now, please. Okay, so I'll start by labelling the sides. Opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. I'll write down my rule. Cos x equals a over h. Fill in the numbers. Cos x is 4 over 7. And then to get x, I need to do the inverse of cos 4 over 7. Go to my calculator. 4 divided by 7 equals, hit the inverse cos button, and I get an answer. Now be careful when you round this one. 55.15, that 5 will round that up to a 2. 55.2 degrees. Hope you got that right. Okay, now you can try the second one. So pause the video and give it a go. Once you've finished, unpause, and hopefully you're going to get it right. So opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. Fill in the information, write the rule. Cos x equals a over h. Fill in the information. Cos x is 14 over 30. I'm now going to get what x equals, so I need to do the opposite of cos, which is inverse cos 14 over 30. Go to my calculator. 14 divided by 30, and then I'm going to inverse cos that. 62.18, so the 8 rounds the 1 up, so 62.2 degrees. Okay, last one, number 3. So pause the video, give it a go. Okay, so label the sides. So there's my opposite, and there's my hypotenuse, there's my adjacent. Write the rule. Cos x is a over h. Fill in the information. Cos x equals 9 over 17. And now I need to do the opposite of cos. I need to do inverse cos 9 over 17 to work out the size of angle x. I go to my calculator. 9 divided by 17 equals, and then inverse cos. So 58.0. Hopefully you got 3 out of 3. And that's how we use cos to calculate the size of an angle.